Hello everyone, how's it going? I'm WoWcrendor, and welcome to another episode of World of Crendor, episode 20! Yay, 20! We have made it through 20 episodes of me answering your questions, which you can submit to worldofcrendor@gmail.com, and they might get answered, okay? Okay. First question. Hello WoWcrendor, this is for your WoW section of World of Crendor. Dragon Soul / general rating has become, in my opinion, too easy. For example, the LFR tool had Deathwing down in the first hour he was released. This happened not only in the LFR, but also in the normal raid. My guild downed DS normal on our first day. Blizzard has said that heroic mode was supposed to be harder, but we have already cleared 3 out of 8. The same goes for other raids, like Barret and Hold. The new boss added each arena season was not puggable on the first few weeks, so you would have to do it with your guild. As soon as we got Tol Barad, I found the boss extremely easy. All you would have to do is stack, and then spread, then stack, etc. My solution to this problem is to either A, simply add a harder mode, or a better solution, combine PvE and PvP, and thus making killing a boss harder. For example, people queue into a raid on either faction, and 2 groups from opposing factions are grouped together on different sides of the map. This would create a race to get to the center of the map final boss. They would fight bosses along the way, getting loot and currencies. When the factions get to the middle, they would fight it out until one side won, thus unlocking the final boss for them. If one faction arrives 2 minutes before the other, they get boss without PvP. The solution would create for me not just a way to get both currencies, but also a way to liven the game through competition. Would love to hear your opinions, suggestions. Zana, Xana, something. Well, let's start from the beginning. So, Dragon Soul rating is too easy according to you. Well, I think the LFR is supposed to be easy. The LFR, to me, is like an in-between, like a puggable instance and raiding. So it's kind of like in the middle. It's kind of like, it's a puggable raid. It's like if you have a tier 3 and a tier 4, it's like tier 3.5. Like, the gear you're gonna get from it is better than the ones you'll get from pugs, but you need to do pugs anyway. And it gives you like an idea of what the instance is like. I think that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to like get you involved in the instance and see what it's like, and kind of like get a feel for raiding like in that instance somewhat, and then you progress to the actual raid. I think that's what they're trying to do. And in the same aspect, they're also making it so people that don't want to play all the time can still see the raid and the content, because otherwise you're just making content that's not being viewed by anyone but like hardcore people, which is bad if it's your business model and nobody's viewing your content. Anyway, that's my opinion on that part. Now I move on. Barret and Hold and Tol Barad. I'm not a big fan of those types of things. I think that actually Winter Grasp, it was okay. Like, I didn't mind the actual part where we had to like, I kind of liked like finding the groups and then like going in and doing it, like that whole thing, because it kind of felt, it had that old style of like looking for more whatever, and like you had to find your group, whatever. But the actual whole concept of the thing I think is stupid. Like, you have to win a PvP thing to do a PvE thing where you can win either PvE or PvP gear. Like, and the phone rings. That's cool. And now we are back. I have edited it so that we are now in the future, yet we are still in the present if you're watching this and you're like, what is going on? And it's really weird and awkward. Anyway, where were we at? Is something about, oh yeah, Tol Barad. I think it's stupid because it combines PvE and PvP, which brings us to our third point of combining PvE and PvP. I think it's stupid. Let's explain why. I think that adding a hard mode is a good idea. I think that's something they should have done a while back, because people that do like heroics and hard modes, they want it to be really hard, and it's like, that's what she said, but, you know, it has to like fit all these different types of difficulty levels. I think that's kind of what they're starting to figure out, and when you please the casual people and you please the hardcore people, which is very hard to do, don't get me wrong, that's when you're gonna see everyone start coming back, because when you play, the casual people are getting pretty happy right now because the instances, like the pugs, are easier. You can just hop on and do an instance. You can hop on and do a raid, and it has that whole feel from like Wrath when all the casual people really liked it. And currently it's kind of based towards hardcore people, but they're starting to like switch back to the casual format. So I think in order to please both, they would have to make the hard heroic mode, whatever, harder. Just a little bit. It's to the point where it's going to be challenging it's going to take a while to clear it all. Like, you have to do it for weeks. Granted, I haven't, like, done hard... That's why I don't really like talking about, like, hard modes and stuff, because I haven't actually done heroic hard modes since, like, the beginning of Cataclysm. So, I don't like talking about stuff I'm not educated on. So that's... but the whole concept of PvE and PvP, I don't think it's a good idea to combine both. Because as you can see from already, as you can see from like Tol Barad and such, it's... yeah, I don't like it. It's too... The people that want a PvP are gonna PvP, and the people who want a PvE want a PvE. Like, there's some people that are in between, like, I guess I could do both, but it's not what the majority of people want IMO. And if you combine PvE and PvP to, like, the whole entire game, you're literally gonna, like, you're gonna create a mediocre thing where people, the PvE are like, I don't want a PvP, this is stupid, and the PvP people are like, I don't want a PvE, that's retarded, and then it's just gonna, oh, no, it's too much combining of game mechanics, blah, that's all I gotta say. But, unless you figured out some amazing way to do it, like, I wouldn't do it. That's just me. Okay? Okay. Next question. I am Ikshuki. Not even gonna try. One thing I never liked about Cata once it was released was guild system. They pretty much broke when they made the gameplay where you can mostly solo the entire game, completely destroying the purpose of being in a guild. I used to own a guild. I even went to many other guilds, but the issue is if you are a guild master, you pretty much have to continuously recruit, or everyone always goes AFK, or eventually guild hop to other guilds. And because you have to continuously recruit, you may end up like 1,200 members, but only 20 active members, and since they released the raid finder, what's the point of even being in a guild now? So what is your opinion about the broken guild system? Well, I guess what you mean by soloing the game is that you can, you know, just like queue up for looking for raid or whatever. That's what I would think you'd mean by soloing, so you could just experience all the game content without having to find a guild. Which, I mean, that's good for casual people. But for people that really want to be in a hardcore guild, you could just join one. And for that reason, I think the guild system they have in place is stupid. Because people that really want to raid are going to join guilds, like if they have perks or they don't have perks. And people that don't want to raid, or they want to like casually raid, are not going to want to join a guild. They're just going to do it like LFR and what they're doing right now. So I mean, I think having the guild system, to me it doesn't really make sense. Because I got their point, like they're trying to make it so people actually want to make guilds because they give you perks, but at the same time, you're like making it so people don't want to make new guilds because they're like, oh, we have to re-level our guild. Like I don't like that either. It needs a concept of like, if you already have a level 25 guild, you can make another one, or even I don't know. I'd scrap the entire whole leveling guild system altogether and just give people like a choice of perks they can take. Like, just make a talent tree of guild perks that you can take. Like, I don't know. I think maybe keep the earning rep part. Like, you can earn rep with your guild, and maybe the guild master starts out like automatically with like a lot of rep, and then the guild master can like pick the perks that his guild has, and then people can look at him and be like, hey, you're an idiot, or like, hey, you seem to know what you're doing. So I mean, I think they could rework it to make it work, but I think currently the guild system is stupid and not good. Maybe you could even like have it so it's broken down into guild specs. There you go. So you'd have like a leveling spec, so if you're a leveling guild, you'd go down the leveling talent tree of perks. And if you're a raiding guild, you could go down the raiding talent tree of perks. And if you're a PvP guild, you go down PvP talent tree of perks. Hooray! Pleases everyone. And there's gonna be people that are like, then the talent trees are just cookie cutter builds of, or not cookie cutter, but like pre-selected talents. Like there's no choice. But the fact that you get to choose what your guild is, whether PvE, PvP, or raiding, gives you that choice. And so, you know, a PvE guild doesn't care about like having leveling talents or even PvP talents. And that would add something like cool to guilds, like screw leveling, add that. That'll be awesome. There you go, guild talent trees coming to an expansion near you. Okay. And now for the LoL question. Dear Crendor, this is for your LoL section of the World of Crendor video. What champions do you like the most? What champions do you actually play the most? And are you looking forward to Victor? He's already out. Do you think any champions need a severe nerf? Trin doesn't need a nerf, CC him win, or a severe buff. Probably something that you get asked a lot, and I would think it'd be interesting to know. Thanks for your time, Justin. Well, this is kind of a hard question to answer because it changes all the time. So like somebody could be watching this like a while from now and be like, those champions are good. What's he talking about? Those champions suck. So, the champion I probably like to play the most is Ezreal, even though he's kind of just average. But I bought Ezreal when he came out like a year and a half ago, and I've played him all the time. He's probably one of my most played people. And Kassadin. I played Kassadin a lot, and now he gets banned again. So I mean, I can't really play him when he gets banned. I can play him in normal games, though, and he's fun. What champions? Well, those would be the champions I like the most. That's me getting a text. And what champions do I play the most? I play support the most. And at first, I'd be forced to play support, but I actually like playing support, and when I play support, I generally win. I'm like 9-3 as Soraka, and I'm actually maybe even more. I might be like 11-3 now, and I'm like 6-3 as support in Italy. It's pretty good. I like playing supports. I want to learn Sona. I played her a few times, but Sona seems really good. I mainly like Soraka though. Soraka's awesome because you got your global heal, and it's fun. Well, I have also bought Victor. Victor, he's okay. I mean, he's got a cool laser beam thing. His shield's pretty awesome with like his Q attack. What else is it? His ultimate's crazy. But I think the problem is he doesn't really have the AoE ability aside from his ult, and his laser, unless you like constantly hit with his laser, like, which is not the easiest of things to do. But I mean, he's got like cool mechanics. I like his mechanics a lot. And as for like nerfing and buffing people, I don't like to get into that because I don't know. Right now, nerfing people, I don't know. Like, I mean, it changes so much, and it's, I don't know, a buff. I'll talk about buffing people. You know who needs buffs? Twitch. Twitch needs buffs. They should just, stealth is so broken. They should just get rid of stealth and make, like, Twitch, have awesome, like an awesome ability or something. I don't know. Twitch is like one of my favorite people. He's like the first ever champion I bought. And getting more text. And he can play him right now, but you have to really know what you're doing. Like, you have to master Twitch in order to play him efficiently, which it's not the most fun thing to do. Like, having to try extremely hard to keep up with someone who's just playing average. Who else could use a buff? I don't know. There's a lot of people I like that could use buffs. I'm trying to think who would be if I could buff one person, who would it be? It would be Twitch. That's like when it comes to my mind, it's Twitch. As for Mordekaiser, he was pretty fun, and then he's kind of like a pub stomper, and his problem is he has no CC, which is bad. The main problem with champions is you don't have CC. If you don't have CC, you're like useless. That is like the primary thing of winning a game is CC and like AoE damage, and that's why people like Ezreal don't do well late game. They lack CC, they lack AoE damage, except for like his ult. But would you rather have Ezreal, or would you rather have Vayne, who can like pin people against walls and get away quickly and stealth get away and chase people down? Like, there's some things that just because of the character mechanics, it makes them a better champion for the metagame. So it's a complicated thing. Okay. And now for the first random question. Dear Crendor, after watching your vids for a long time, I've decided to ask you about this question I've been struggling with. Sometimes people say that people who play WoW, LoL, etc. more than a few hours a day have no life at all, but at the same time, they are either doing the same things like that, or they are just doing something that's boring, while they say that makes you having a life. Let's take an example, shall we? I mostly play hours of LoL with my friends every day while still having contact on Skype, and then some people say that we don't have a life while they are just hanging around somewhere and getting drunk and smoking cigarettes and everything. My problem is that I don't see much difference between both groups of people, which are having fun talking with friends, etc. If you see it like that, I want to know what really makes you having no life at all. What do you think about? From Crazy Jord, active WoW LoL player. P.S. English is not my first language, and I am dyslexic, so sorry about grammar and vocab faults. Well, your main question is, why do the people that go out and party say they have a life, and that you, who are playing video games with your friends, don't have a life? That is what we're getting to. And this question has come across my mind multiple times, and what it comes down to is a lot of the people that are doing the partying and the going out and the like, yeah, woo, drugs and alcohol and smoking, most of them, they have never played, like, hardcore, like, WoW, MMOs, or LoL and stuff like that, and to them, that's like, it's what nerds do. Nerds don't have lives, they're just losers. Like, most people, when you talk to them, they don't understand the, like, gaming community. They don't understand, like, that you actually do have Skype and, like, talking programs where it's practically like you're talking on the phone with someone, and, or if not multiple people, and you can, have giant conversations like you were actually talking to them. Granted, that's not an excuse to, like, never see them in real life, but it's fun. Like, that's the whole point of playing it. It's like you're working together with your friends to achieve a goal or meet new people. Like, you meet new people all the time. I have met a vast majority of my friends online, and I've met a lot of them in real life, and so, I mean, it's a way of meeting new people that are interested in the things you're interested in. And I think that's a lot better, quote, having a life than going out and drinking and partying and forgetting you even exist. Like, how do you have a life when your main goal of going out is to, like, get so wasted that you forget that you exist? I think that's kind of ironic, in a way. But it's all just opinions and talking. Like, it doesn't really matter if some, like, random jock guy's like, you have no life. I'd be like, cool, I make more money than you. Like, I don't care. I have no life, okay. Like, oh, whatever. Like, it's just opinions. Like, who cares? Who cares what people think? Do what you want. As someone once said, I like this quote, where he said, time well wasted is not wasted at all. So if you enjoy playing video games with your friends and you realize that it's actually really fun, and it's like bonding, and it's awesome, and you meet new people, then be like, yeah, I am part of this small selection of people. It's actually really happy that I can play the games with my friends and enjoy myself and have a good time, instead of going out and being like, okay. Okay. And that's it for this episode of World of Crendor. If you have a question, you can email it into worldofcrendor@gmail.com, and it may get answered on the next episode of World of Crendor, okay? Okay. See ya!